Hey, Alex.
Hey, Andrew.
What's this?
This is Brains on the Outside.
And oh my gosh, what is that?
Brains on the Outside is a weekly comedy business ideas podcast that is also sometimes a live show.
The last episode would have been a live show.
It was a live show.
How do you feel that went?
I felt it went really, really well. I am very excited and I'm really looking forward to the next live show.
Which is potentially on the 12th of April. But
I believe it is
we're working
potentially
on
the 12th of April. Yeah.
I
That's
feel our
exciting.
first live show was better than our first non-live show.
Yes, that is definitely true. And in fact, like it was better than the first few episodes of the show, I think.
I feel now though we're on a good streak.
Oh, we are on a good streak right now. We got some good ideas.
We're having some amazing ideas. Like I'm looking at my iPad and it says wine flight, but a hat. So there's a lot of good stuff coming up.
Is that in that situation? Is it what kind of hat is it? And is it a straw into every glass of wine at the same time? Or do you have like numbered straws that you have to work like it's like, oh, this is number one straw because it goes with the first course. What is the situation? Explain this wine hat to me, Andrew.
Imagine like an Indiana Jones style hat, so a flat bit, and in there you can slot in full glass wine glasses. But this isn't like no baby stuff, no plastic stuff. There's a bit of danger here. It's very heavy. About 9 wines, all very expensive. This is a classy object.
Nice. Okay. I mean, I get, it's a nice take on the beer hat, right?
Yeah, but for classy things, you're meeting the Pope, you're meeting the Queen.
Yeah.
Well, you mean the King.
You might mean a different Queen.
Might mean a different Queen. But this is a classy thing, classy events. And no, we're not pairing them up. This is just you're going to drink them all any order you want.
Any order you want. Okay. Yeah. And will it support like a champagne flute? Or is it just a one shape of wine glass? What about
one shape of wine glass? Because you have to wait for next year because we're going to have them we're going to announce them like iPhones at press conferences. So
okay, yeah.
Wine Flight Hat 2 will support. Champagne flutes.
Champagne flutes. Yeah, cool. Okay, and maybe like customizable hats as well because like, Apple Watch 2 had the customizable wristband.
Oh yeah.
And maybe 2 is you can get a builder's hat. A hard hat.
We're going to get a lot of shit on Twitter being like, we're paying £2,500 for this and we can't change the color. You can only get it in space gray and like rose gold. That's it. Wine Flight 2 will sort most of that out.
I think that's real classy. I think I was just thinking as you were saying that about restaurants that have big tasting menus. Like you have a tasting menu, you have like 16 courses. There's a tasting menu place in Newcastle here in the UK. There's 16 courses at that place, right? 16 courses. How many mouthfuls of food is there in a normal dinner? Is it 16 mouthfuls? Because it could just be 16 spoons worth of food. That's it. Like I want to go to a tasting menu where I turn up and I get a spoon that's shaped like a rake and it's got 16 spoons on the end of each rake prong. and I just
mouthfuls.
work my way down the spoon like nom 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 nom.
Are they ordered? So the first 4 like starters, then there's 8. Yeah, mains.
Yeah.
What if we merge all these ideas together? So we have Wine Flight 1. Wine Flight Hat 1 is obviously just wine. Wine Flight 2.0 is champagne flutes. Wine Flight Hat 3.0, get rid of the wine entirely. There's 16 little like, what's those yogurt sachets called?
Like a froob.
Yeah, 16 froobs dangling down. And it is just a tasting menu.
That's...
Tasting menu hat.
It's a whole lot. And what? It's like just each froob tube has wine and food in it.
Yeah, you go to a Michelin star restaurant, you sit down, they take your coat and they just put a hat on you and they're like, go for it.
Wow, man. What if it was like, those hats with the corks on them that you get in like... And each cork is actually a morsel of food or a tiny bubble of liquid. And you just have to catch it.
I mean, I guess it's kind of like a kebab or So I've had 2 pints, so this is not all coming out very well.
But you have made me go on.
We have like chicken on a stick and stuff. What's that called?
Like chicken on a stick, like satay, or
yeah. It's just that you can bite it off. I think that's an amazing idea.
Like a skewer of stuff.
But is it classy? Is it classy or is it not?
I mean, I think it depends. I mean, I think it is classy because it's a tasting menu. But then immediately as I said that, I was like, what is the tasting menu that you can get at a kebab shop?
That's it. Is it? So right.
Yeah.
Clear some things up here. Is it still in a hat?
I mean, sure. If you want it to still be in a hat, that's a thing. Yeah. We can still make it in a hat if you want to. But I was thinking, like, I stumble out of a nightclub at 3 a.m. and I go to Benny's Kebabs over the road, and I'm like, I mean, I do want chicken shawarma, but I also want a pizza,
a chicken nugget,
and a chicken nugget,
1 slice of pizza,
and a cheeseburger,
5 chips,
and
a shot of garlic sauce.
Imagine if you ran a kebab shop that provided a tasting menu.
An ironically fancy kebab shop up until 4 a.m. That's actually really solid.
It would be incredible, wouldn't it? It would be absolutely staggering. I'd love that. To get 1 taste cube of each thing.
There's something there as well about like drink flights, but for really cheap alcohol.
Oh, yeah.
So you get like 100 mils of Smirnoff Ice and 100 mils of that really cheap cider, 100 mils of Tesco beer, and you have that alongside your kebab shop 4 a.m. tasting menu.
A shot of Blue Wicked and some oh God, what's that stuff called? The tonic wine?
Oh God, the stuff
Buckfast. Yeah,
it's the stuff that the monks make.
Yeah, the stuff the monks make. It sounds classy.
It sounds classy. I love it because imagine you're one of those monks and you think your mission on Earth, sent by God, is to make this stuff, and all it's used for is for Rangers fans to batter the shit out of Celtic fans. That's it. So I actually think all these products we talked about can fit into one product line, because Apple, they make the iPhone Pro, but they also make the SE at very different price points. So you could have at one end the Ottolenghi tasting menu hat. And on the other end, you could have the Benny's Kebabs tasting menu kebab shop.
Benny's Kebabs is an actual, or was in my youth, a real kebab shop in the town here of Durham that we live in. And it was on North Road, and every Friday night someone would steal the bottom of the B, and so for a whole week, every week it would say penis kebabs. Every week, and they kept putting it up, and eventually, like, it was a 3D sign, and every week someone would steal the bottom of the B, and they'd fix it, and then they'd steal it again, and eventually they put it up as a big, like, it was no longer a 3D sign, it was just a massive, like, glossy vinyl. It was so sad.
At what point do you just lean into it and you change your name on Company's House to Penis Kebabs?
I'm thinking a lot about wine flights now.
Yeah.
And also about tasting menus. Why is there no coffee wine flight, like coffee flight, when you walk into Starbucks? Because you don't know what you want. There's too much menu, and you're like, "Can I have the coffee flight, please?" And they give you a tiny mocha, and they give you a tiny cappuccino, and a tiny Americano, and a tiny chocolate praline mini mega milky mocha, all at once.
Do they add up to 1 shot of caffeine?
It adds up to 1 regular sized coffee, yeah.
Right. So I was kind of starting to think, you've got a lot of good ideas. We need to pull this into one thing we can pitch somebody. And I think this is maybe it.
Yeah.
Coffee wine flight.
Yeah. But also, wait, hold on, hear me out. Also, Tesco meal deal tasting menu. You go in, the Tesco meal deal, you get, you're going to get a sandwich or a salad, you get a drink, and you get a packet of crisps, or you get a chocolate biscuit, and it costs you £4.
Yep.
Tesco tasting menu meal deal, you get, like, I don't know, a mouthful of sausage roll, a mouthful of ham and cheese sandwich, a mouthful of egg sandwich, 7 crisps.
Yep.
And then an accompanying lunchtime drinks flight. 1 mouth of Lucozade, 1 mouth of I don't know, chilled latte.
So this can legit work because you could cut your sandwiches into quarters. So there were little triangles, and you could put 4 different ones inside a triangle, inside a sandwich container. You could fill your juice cartons, not with a full size 300 ml cartons, but like the ginger shot ones.
Oh, yeah.
You put lots of drinks in those. You could definitely make a meal deal wine flight.
Yeah. I think it would be pretty good. A mix and match as well. So I can have 3 different types of sandwich and a little tiny bit of pasta salad.
Yeah, because I feel sometimes a whole like egg mayo sandwich is too much. But if I get a quarter of that, a quarter of a tuna, quarter of a prawn, quarter of a ploughman's, that'd be perfect.
Yeah. This wasn't what we intended on talking about, but
no, I said wine flight as a throwaway thing, but actually this is pretty good. So we've ended on Tesco. I think that works. My only other stupid food related thing in front of me, aside from my actual suggestion for today, is we'll save that for a few minutes. But my other stupid drinks one is reusable strawpedo straw.
What is a strawpedo, Andrew?
It's when you get some kind of like Smirnoff Ice or VK style drink, and you put a straw in it, and you sort of it's kind of hard to visualize. So, listener, close your eyes and really try and picture this. You get the straw and you bend it right over, so it's of the bendy bit of the straw is pointed downwards outside the glass. So when you start drinking it, there is air able to go into the bottle. You're not drinking through the straw, you're still drinking through the actual bottle open. But it means you can down the whole thing in like 3 seconds because air can get into the bottom of the bottle, right?
I got it.
However, that's not very good for the environment because bendy straws are made out of plastic. So this is a metal one, permanently bent, purely for strawpedoing.
Nice. Yeah, I like that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just wondering whether, like, because the strawpedo obviously is it's a student thing for getting drunk as fast as possible. You can get alcohol into your body as quickly as humanly possible, right? That's one thing. But it's also a way of just drinking really quickly. Like if you're really thirsty and you haven't got very much time, boom, just smack it in there, down it goes.
Right. So my brain's immediately you could sell these like marathon runners when they're running and people are handing drinks to the side. They could just down that Smirnoff Ice in like 4 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Who are you going to sell?
Stay hydrated. No, yeah, that was on my. Or I was thinking about like maybe people who are just really in a hurry before they have to go somewhere where they're not allowed to take liquids.
You're about to go on a flight.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it.
You're accidentally wearing your wine flight hat. You need to get a bit of it all quick.
Can you imagine turning up at security and you've got a wine flight hat on?
I think they'd have every right to turn you away. If I was on a plane and someone came on with a wine flight hat, I would get off the plane.
That's incredible. I love this. Yeah. Do you know what? The thing, this is really stupid. The thing that just popped into my head there was like, in my head, I was like, yeah, cocktails. That's a good idea. And then I thought, cocktails. You just make a cocktail out of other ingredients. You just put other drinks together and you end up with a cocktail. And then in my head, I went,
yeah,
what is the food equivalent of a cocktail? What?
It's kind of like making soup, I guess.
I mean, a soup is definitely a cocktail. That's the truth because it's liquid.
Sauces,
any sauce. Yeah. At some point it tips over though. I don't know what that point is.
I think it's when you can't strawpedo it.
Oh, yeah. Holy shit. It doesn't have to be drinks that you strawpedo. You could strawpedo a cup of soup.
A piping hot pot noodle. Fuck, we've gone off the rails. I had a really good idea for today as well. We'll save it for next week.
Some strawpedo. Can you imagine if you walked into a fancy restaurant and they handed you, they're like, "Oh, would you like?" And you're like, "I will have the French onion soup." And they bring you a bottle of soup and a strawpedo straw.
Thing is,
wow.
A little baby's like, you should probably go there at least once. Just see what it's like.
We could open a strawpedo soup restaurant. Do you know what? There's massive benefits of that as well because throughput is incredibly fast.
Really, really fast.
Yeah. How many covers per night? Well, actually 2,000 because people are only in for 2 minutes.
You know how sometimes in bars, people are like, there's pictures of people on the wall being like regulars, or I was in one that was like pictures of dogs. I think we'd put people on the wall if they were out of there in less than 5 seconds.
Come in, get your soup fix, and then leave. It doesn't even have to be that good of a soup because it's so fast that you're not going to taste it.
It'll be boiling hot as well. I think it'll be like a soup flight. Strawpedo straws. You neck 5 of them and you're out.
Full meal. Yeah. You get a gazpacho, then you get a pea and ham. That's your main course. Then you get well, actually, maybe gazpacho is the intermediate course, isn't it? That's the soup. That's the sorbet equivalent.
Okay, yeah.
It's a gazpacho because that's cold. So you have like a nice warm, maybe like a Cullen skink. Then you have a gazpacho. Do you not like skink?
Bitty. No, I love Cullen skink. This it's a lumpy one, but that's
it is.
It's a challenge. The menu will be rated by price and also difficulty of strawpedoing.
How much suction have you got to have? I feel like this is a better, like a liquids only restaurant, a liquids only tasting restaurant with wine flight hat and also soup flight hat as well. 2-tier hat. It's got 2 tiers, wine on the top level of the hat, soup on the second level of the hat. And then maybe 3-tier hat, and the top layer is pudding milkshake.
That is incredible and disgusting, but I'll definitely go there at least once.
Do you know what else I'd really like to try is one of those hats which is like a bowl that has like the nachos around the outside.
This is the final stage, right? Your soup flight hat. Right. Yeah. There was a cafe in Glasgow I used to go to a lot that give you bread bowls with soup in it.
Oh, fabulous.
Bread, soup, flight, hat.
Oh, shit. It's edible.
That you could also strawpedo. Is that too many things for the investors to get their head around, though?
The good thing about a bread hat is that we can easily make a bread hat. We can't make an actual hat because that's a lot of work, but we could make a bread hat. So we could take it and we get Peter Jones to put it on his head, and it's already got the soup in it and everything else.
The thing is, like, okay, maybe not. Let's step back. Right, I think for 1 minute, let's step back from the bit. Okay. And let's have a serious chat here about our real goal, which is getting Dragon's Den.
Okay.
I think the soup flight hat, the bread bowl soup flight hat might not be a good business, but holy shit, would that be good TV?
Are you listening, BBC?
I think if you contacted the head of program of BBC and you're like, I have a soup flight hat ready for Peter Jones to wear, I think you'd get on. It seems accomplishable.
I think we should actually do that. I think we should actually pitch that because that's just like we could get on there on like Children in Need Day or something.
Oh yeah,
like a comedy day.
You're not getting on a regular day.
Red Nose Day.
Yeah,
sketch is us pitching the soup flight hat to Peter Jones while he's got it on his head. Oh yeah.
Then he has to eat it and drink it. I think that's perfect.
Yeah, and we could eat it around the top of his head as well.
I can't wait for Peter Jones to wear this. we have a we have a listener business idea. Should we talk about that for a second?
Yeah, let's talk about that for a second. I mean, this episode has gone so far off the rails, but I've really enjoyed it.
Our listener business idea today is from Rich.
Yeah, lovely Rich, who edited our live show, did the audio mixing for our live show. What hero he is.
He has sent us a business idea, but he's also sent us some ways to market it written by ChatGPT. I thought before we wrap up, we'll read out the idea and read out some of the marketing suggestions that this advanced AI has for us.
Let's go.
This is verbatim Rich's message to us. So, you know how they say, a watch kettle never boils. What if there's a market for kettle privacy curtains with both the angle of protecting dignity and the emotional well-being of your beloved kettle appliance? And also increasing its efficiency because presumably every second you're looking at a switched on kettle is every second that it's not boiling.
Do you think that like, Andrew, I'm going to share something with you here, right? Okay. If someone is staring at me while I'm trying to pee, I can't pee.
Yep, I get it.
Is the boiling of the kettle, is it the same? Is it shame that's preventing the kettle from boiling?
Oh, I thought you were going to say, is a kettle boiling the equivalent of us having a pee?
Yeah.
Like, is that relieving itself somehow? Yeah, I think it's shame. I think it's embarrassment. I think that is what Rich's suggestion is, that it's the kettle's embarrassed and needs these privacy curtains.
Oh, I see.
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a great idea.
Do you want to read out one of ChatGPT's suggestions for how to market this thing?
Yeah, so ChatGPT suggests the following video advertisement. A short and emotional video advertisement could be created to showcase the kettle's emotions. It could begin with the kettle on display in the kitchen feeling embarrassed and uncomfortable with people staring at it while boiling water. The kettle could then express its feelings through a voiceover or text overlay. The ad could end with a message urging people to buy the privacy curtain for their kettles to provide them with the privacy they deserve. I love that ChatGPT managed to get the idea behind that behind that ad business idea that Rich said, and I didn't. So.
It beat you to it. I think it's. I could imagine that. That seems like a beautiful piece of media.
It's like a little blushing kettle, you know. Yeah, good.
I like its suggestion: influencer collaborations. Influencers who are passionate about kitchen appliances or lifestyle could be approached to collaborate with the campaign. They could create sponsored posts showcasing the kettle behind the privacy curtains, emphasizing the benefit of the curtains for the appliance's emotional well-being.
Wow. Print ads could be placed in cooking and lifestyle magazines with headlines like, respect your kettle's privacy, or your kettle deserves some alone time too, which is really creepy.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
Yeah. Yeah. That's amazing though. ChatGPT is part scary and part hilarious and part terrible.
Alex, if a listener got ChatGPT to write a business idea for us, how could they send it to us?
God, I feel like we're opening the door to some real problems here. So if a listener gets ChatGPT to write a business idea for us, the best way to get it through to us is via email. So you can send it to our email address, which is brainsontheoutside@gmail.com.
Excellent. If you do that, we'll send you a bunch of free stuff too. I think we actually have a backlog of listener stuff to work through. We've not recorded an episode for a while, so we'll start from here on out. There'll be loads of them.
We'll do it. Also, if you can find the time, and we would love it if you could find the time, drop us a little review on Apple Podcasts or on Spotify or wherever you listen to your podcasts. Give us a little star or whatever it is, a little heart. Tick that little box for us. That would be lovely. It really helps with discoverability. And we really want more people to listen to our show.
We really, really do. Alex, do you have one final business idea for us?
Yeah, I do.
Oh yeah, what is it?
Shoes that when you put them on, they look like they're on backwards, just to really confuse people about which way you're facing.
Just gaslighting the whole world.
Andrew, keep your brain on the outside.
Keep your brain on the outside.